Hey, what's up guys, Wellen Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the DC Icons Superman and Batman figures. These figures were actually part of that 7-pack that came out a while ago, but now they have their own individual packaging, which is pretty nice because I did not want to buy that 7-pack. So here's the back, just them two only, no one else. They have their own symbols on top right there, which is pretty cool. So this is pretty much I believe the Rebirth series version, so this is actually the new Superman. Well, the old Superman from the the pre-52 era, whatever it's called. And this is his Batman, so kind of confusing. Alright, so here they are out of the box, and like I said before, these are from that 7-pack that came out a while ago. I never got it because I didn't really see the need to buy it, because I didn't want all those figures. But these two I definitely wanted, so I'm happy to have them now. So this is my first take on them, so let's see how they look. First off, obviously you could tell that their bodies are bigger, which is pretty nice. It looks like the DC Icons are starting to get better body molds, body sculpts. I like them a lot. They're bigger, they're beefier, they're better for your other collections and stuff like that. So we'll do a size comparison at the end. But just looking at them straight, they look nice. They're more updated. This is the new Superman. This is a new costume, so that's good to have. This is the more updated Batman as well. He looks fantastic too. So right now we're going to start with Superman. But I want to point out one thing also is that these figures come with no accessories, which is kind of a bummer because you're spending a lot of money on DC Icons. And some other figures from DC Icons do come with a lot of accessories, like Green Lantern, Robin. They come so many things, even different hands. These come with nothing. So as a Batman figure too, no batarangs, no extra hands. That kind of sucks. Superman I'm okay with because he doesn't really need anything, but I do wish Batman had more accessories. And I'm not even sure you could take off these hands or not, so yeah. So let's take a look at Superman first. Alright guys, now taking a look at Superman first, I have to say I love the blue in this. It's a nice matte blue. Comes off really nicely. I think it looks pretty good. Now looking at the outfit itself, this is the new outfits for Superman. Ever since 52 happened, he had a different outfit. Now it's a little bit more updated as well, sporting this Superman. Because this is the Superman that we all grew up on. He is now in this universe for the post-52 rebirth now. It's really complicated, but this is the Superman we grew up on, so it's nice to have him back. New outfit right here. He still doesn't have any underwear on his new outfit right there. He does have blue boots now, which is a little bit different to have. But he does have a red accent on the tips of them, so there you go. I don't even know if you consider that boots anymore, but he does have a red belt. Comes off, breaks off in the middle. It has a little bit of a diamond in the middle right there as well. There is some nice metallic blues right here on the edge of his wrist right there, which is pretty nice. And going to the back right here, he does have a Superman symbol again on his cape, which is a little bit splotchy. Not the greatest paint job, to be honest, but I would not know that until I opened the box. So that's something that you cannot look out for. Now taking a look at his chest. Now when it comes to these DC Icon figures, I have to admit they weren't the best for quality control because I was standing there at my comic book shop trying to find the best Superman to bring home. Now some of them had great Superman symbols, while the other ones had horrible paint jobs on the face, like a lot of splotchiness, a lot of paint randomly here and there. So I just had to pick one, honestly. I couldn't stand there forever. So the one I picked, his symbol on his chest isn't the greatest, but I'll have to do. Maybe I could get some red paint and fix that right there. But his face, at least, is a lot better on the one I picked. So that's what really mattered to me, to be honest. It's a cleaner face. Not a lot of paint on it, so I'm pretty happy. But the S is pretty nice. It's a little bit raised. As you can see, it's a little bit raised. Not a lot, but it's kind of this part is kind of placed on top, and then they paint on the S. So taking a look at the head right now, the head sculpt I like a lot. The head sculpt is a more mature looking Superman. Like I said before, this is the Superman that we grew up on, and we could say that's Superman. Yeah. So yeah, I like the head sculpt. It's pretty nice. It's a lot better compared to the first DC Icon Superman, which is puny little head, which I did not. I don't even think I bought that. I don't remember. I know I didn't review it, but I don't even know if I bought it. But so much better. So much happier if this one is bigger too. I mean, this figure in general is a lot bigger, which is pretty nice. It's nice that DC Icons is making their figures a lot bigger to, for better scale of your other figures. Taking a look at the cape, I love this cape. Normally what I like to do is take off the cape and put a fabric cape on, But this one is a nice one. It's light. Even though it is rubber, it's so flexible, which is pretty nice. So I'm gonna leave this one on, despite the horrible smudge there. Alright, so for a quick size comparison right here, here we have the new Superman figure with the DC Unlimited New 52 Superman body right there, with a different head right there, and we have the DC Film Superman figure with another head right there. So as you can see, the new Superman figure body, DC Icons 1, does sport a bigger body per se, which is pretty nice. It's not quite as big as the former, like, DC Classics, DC Universe, the unlimited versions right there, which is not a bad thing because they tend to be a bigger figure anyway. I'm going to compare him to Marvel Legends right now, which might be in a better scale. This one is a little bit bigger anyway, so you can kind of put him out right there. Alright, so next up right here, we do have some Marvel figures. We have the Captain America figure right here, and we have a Spider-Man figure right here. So as you can see, side by side with Superman, it's not bad. Not horrible. Maybe you could get away with some different poses. They might look a little bit different, but overall, it really is up to you which one you like better. Maybe this might be more appropriate as a size for a Superman, like this body size, but overall, it's not horrible. And for fun right here, we do have the DC Icon Superboy, father and son reunited, and these actually are the father and son right here. So it looks pretty nice. Maybe we get a Lois in the future. Nah, we don't need a Lois. Alright, now taking a look at Batman. He looks awesome looking. I like how he looks. Let's take a quick look at him up close. For quality control wise, he was a little bit easier to get a figure because everything, at my store at least, was all clean looking. So I like it. Zoom in. There you go. Nice. I love that head sculpt right there. I love how it looks. I like his little frown right there as well. Looks pretty nice. Going down to the rest of the body. Fantastic. It's a nice gray looking body. He do have some different designs here and there at his crotch area as well. He has a nice looking belt, which is pretty good too. The bat symbol over here is a nice bat symbol with a little bit of a yellow highlight around it, which is pretty nice. Even the what are you gonna call this? Gauntlets. Yeah, his wrist gauntlets, forearm gauntlets are pretty nice and designed, and it's not plain looking. You do have some kind of design there, which is pretty nice. I always like that. Going down to the rest of the body, he does have kind of like knee pads here, which is pretty good too. No boot swivel, but he does have a nice black boots, which is always a Batman standard to have, of course. And going down to the back of the cape, it's actually purple, which is actually accurate to the comic book, which they have been doing recently. So the outside is black, the inside is purple. So yeah, it's a little interesting design right there. But the cowl is really nice as well. The cowl goes all the way up, goes down to the cape as well, so there is no like separation between it. Alright, so quick size comparison with a DC Universe Classics base body right here. He matches up pretty well. He's a pretty big figure. Honestly, I think it's the head right here because Batman and Superman seem to sport a very similar body. I'm not going to say it's the same exact one because it looks like Batman has different, and their crotch areas are different definitely. And I think that Batman has bigger legs. They look a little bit thicker. But overall, Batman is a pretty decent sized figure over here. So he might not have the width, but he definitely has the height, which is pretty nice. Which is really good for you if you have a lot of DC Universe figures or classics that you want to swap out this Batman figure. Head might be a little small, but overall the body looks fantastic to me. And right here is the Batman figure with that new 52 Superman right there. So like I said before, this is a little bit bigger body, but this new Batman figure definitely has the height, which is pretty nice. Now for another size comparison, here they are with the Marvel Legend figures, and I have to say this is a nice size comparison. I think it looks pretty good. Even Batman and Captain America side by side look pretty good. Spider-Man's a little bit smaller, which is fantastic in my opinion. Taking Spider-Man out, seeing them side by side, I definitely like this combination right here, and having them squaring off. Even though Captain America is a little bit bigger, it's fine by me. He's a big guy, so no problems there. And next up right here, we have side by side with his sons, Damian and Dick Grayson. We have Nightwing and Robin, which I love I love these figures. This is a nice trio right here. Finally all in the same size. great proportions. This is just fantastic from DC Icons. Now for another size comparison, here is the DC Unlimited Wonder Woman figure. Basically the new 52 Wonder Woman body by putting a different head on right there. So you get a nice size comparison how she looks like with the Trinity right there. Alright, so quickly going into articulation for both figures, they have ball jointed heads which pretty much go a little bit up, not that much. They go down, not that much as well. I think Batman's a little bit better, but they do go left and right, side by side. No problems right there. Their shoulders on hinge joints that rotate, so they go all the way up. Pretty good. My Superman figure is a little bit stiff, but not that bad actually. Goes up about that far. They do have a bicep swivel right there. 2 points at the elbow, but it's not the greatest, to be honest. It could be a little bit better. They don't go up that high. Well, at least Superman, his bicep is huge. Look at that. Big bicep, so you're not going to get a big range for the elbow. And also at the wrist joint right here, he does have a swivel and a hinge right there, so it's pretty standard. They do have a ball joint on the upper abs right there, which will swivel a little bit. Not the greatest though, because of the construction right there of it. You do have a little bit give going forward and back though. He does have an ab joint as well. So, I mean, both of them working together is still not the greatest movement. Going back is a little bit better, but going forward isn't the greatest right there, but at least you have something. No waist swivel. Going down to the hips, they have ball jointed hips that come down a little bit, so you have some more clearance when bringing up the legs, which is pretty nice. We have been seeing that in most of their new figures. It does rotate left and right just a little bit, not the greatest for a hip joint, you know, like a thigh swivel almost right there. No thigh cut, of course. Going down here, 2 points at the elbow, the knee right here, sorry, which is pretty good. I like that. Good rotation right there. No boot swivel, and at the ankle he has a hinge, which is pretty good, and a pivot, which is fantastic. So even though they don't have a boot swivel or thigh cut, they do have the swivel at the ankles, at the feet right there, the pivot. So you do get some nice, at least pivots to almost pose them. Now taking a look at Batman when it comes to articulation, which is very similar to Superman overall, his head does move a little bit better, goes up. Even though it looks kind of weird, it does go up a little bit more. It doesn't go down that much though overall, but his shoulders are a little bit constricted because of the cape right here. Even though the cape material is pretty good, you just have to be a little bit careful. You know, it goes up pretty well. You just have to move it out of the way just a little bit. Not a bad thing at all, just want to point that out because some people might want to notice. And because you see this part right here, you would think that it would be in the way, but it really isn't that bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so overall these are pretty great looking figures, you know, despite the size, you know, which is a big improvement. You know, Superman could be a little bit bigger overall, but that's just comparing it with the old DC Universe, DC Classics figure. Overall, they look, you know, they're fantastic. Batman probably is the better of the two, I would definitely say, but it's always nice to have a new, updated Superman figure in your collection, especially having the original Superman back in your collection as well, in this new era of comic books. So overall, I'm really happy. You know, I didn't want to buy that 7-pack, so I'm glad to have them both individually in my collection now. And quality control wise, Batman is fine. Superman could be a little bit better. So when you're picking them out in your comic book store, you know, be careful. And that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching, and like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!